Answer the boy, given up for dead, returns to his people, to sacred Sparta, a king! Our king, Leonidas! It's been more than 30 years since the wolf and the winter cold. Now, as then, a beast approaches. Patient and confident, savoring the meal to come. This beast is made of men and horses, swords and spears. An army of slaves, vast beyond imagining, ready to devour tiny Greece, ready to snuff out the world's one hope for reason and justice. A beast approaches. It was King Leonidas himself who provoked it.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Well, hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, and thank you for joining us on Facebook Live for the 2 or 3 people that are here with us. This is episode 300. That's right, we've made it to 300. I can't believe it, but here we are, 300. And tonight, of course, we're doing 300. It seems the most appropriate movie we could do. Of course, it's not streaming. We had to rent it, but, you know, that's...
Why didn't we do 101 Dalmatians back when?
You know what? That would have been...
Right?
That would have been good. Yeah.
There's so many numbered movies that we could have done.
Yeah.
99 balloons?
Yeah. 16 candles, I guess, on episode 16.
Yeah. Okay. That would
right.
Yeah.
Isn't there a 40 something?
40 first date or 40 days and 40? No,
the 40-year-old, the 40-year-old
version. 6 days, 7 nights, 40. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
16, 310 the Yuma or 310 the Yuma. Yeah. 310 the Yuma.
So we can do that. Well, we've already done that one. We should have waited another 10 episodes and done it. We can do it again. No,
3 divided by 10, so you get
I
like
guess
a third Yuma.
I need to unmute Andrew, or he needs to unmute himself.
No one's paying him any attention. Poor Andrew.
I'm like, oh, he's moving his mouth, but I can't hear him. All right. Anyway, for those of you who can see us, hi, this is really cool. For those of you who are listening as the normal way, thank you so much for coming back. This is episode 300. Like I said, I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew, likes to fight in the shade, Jimison.
He's trying to save those tan lines. That's creepy.
Yeah. No, honestly, I have to say that this summer I'm going to try this and use, makeup to give myself abs.
Hey, there you go.
That sounds like
I would need a lot of makeup.
It's a lot cheaper than a gym.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought I saw a picture somewhere where guys were taking like fencing and like pushing it against themselves, and if you hold it there long enough, it eventually kind of indents your 6-pack abs on you.
I do like the one where the guys just take like grill things, like those grill mats, not mat, but like if you're gonna grill vegetables on a grill, it's like a mesh, and then they just push that on their bellies, and so instead of like a 6-pack, it's like a 48-pack or something.
There you go. Yeah, makes sense.
Cornelius also has a painted on 6-pack. Logan, sorry, I didn't know we were gonna go there, but it's funny.
So when you said that, my audio cut out for a moment, and all I heard was pain, and I was very scared.
Yep.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I
It will
see
do
how
live.
that would be very disturbing.
And
Absolutely.
Sam, maybe if we slow-mo this podcast, it'll look better, Vector.
Anything would make this podcast look better.
Yeah.
I mean, slow-mo, hyperspace. Erasing the podcast might make it better. I'm not sure, but we are what we are. So, Sean,
Yeah.
I just want you to know
Yes.
that if there was any way I was going to kill you in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
I would send you over to Xerxes' tent and let you get some sort of crazy STD.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very kind of kind of you, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? 300 episode. I figured I'd be nice to you.
And this is where you're supposed to say, "For I am kind."
For I am kind.
Yeah, because he said that.
Yeah.
He said that like 1,000 times. For I am kind.
We get it, man. You're kind.
Also,
Gosh.
the word madness. I don't know what it was about this watching, but they say madness so many times. It's like it's almost eye rolling territory.
Ooh, I forgot to plug in my device. I'm gonna go dark for a minute.
Okay.
Bad choice. I'm sorry. I am going to mute my camera.
Bye. So
Bye.
the other joke I thought about doing for the middle names is because they must have said the phrase, their numbers will mean nothing or something like that. Like their numbers won't matter. They must have said that line probably 6 times in this movie, and what my joke was going to be is I gained myself up here because I'm not very loud for some reason. There we go. So what I was going to do is all 3 of your middle names were going to be for their numbers will mean nothing or something like that. So that's what I was going to do. I gained myself up. Is it too loud for you guys?
It's fine to me.
And
as long as
Andrew,
it's not.
Andrew says yes.
It's a little toasty.
Is it? I can back off.
Yeah.
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 No problem. There we go. All right,
Toasty.
we got to make it good for you guys. Yeah, it's gonna sound weird on the recording. Whatever. Man, okay, episode 300. I'm really excited about this, not just because we're doing it live on Facebook, not just because it's our 300th episode, but because this is a fun movie, and I'm kind of looking forward to just talking about it, honestly. So,
Yeah,
Sam-
girl. I'll just come on over and I'll just tell you where the people are going to come. Oh, snap! I'm back online. Yeah, hey guys, what's going on?
oh, this is the stuff that we miss.
I know, right?
You know, like Andrew can't pull that joke off. You know, it just doesn't work.
He gets slapped.
He would get slapped.
That is the way.
That is the way.
You're right.
Corny is free, elf.
So, Sam, why don't you hit us with your 5-word review, sir?
All right, I've got it right here on my electronic device hooked up to the intrawebs. I've got 2 of them tonight. I've got the first one is artsy slow motion Snyder movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And actually, the number 2 is kind of how I feel about it watching it this time around. Worst part are comics moments.
Okay.
Basically, when Snyder goes off the rail and really brings in some kind of crazy comic book type stuff is when I believe this movie kind of falls apart. The way the executioner looks, of course the Hunchback, the giants that the Immortals bring to the field was really kind of stupid looking. I mean, it looked interesting, don't get me wrong, but when you're doing a historical epic, I think that kind of stuff really borderlines insulting the audience's intelligence, really. Certainly this is based off a comic book, absolutely. And certainly, I'm sure Xerxes' army had some pretty crazy stuff. But I think if they would have kept it fairly historically accurate in terms of who they were fighting, I think it would have been a lot better. And that's including that every single bad person in this movie had some sort of leprosy on their skin in some way, shape, or form. And it took me out of the movie every time this time. I absolutely loved the action and how Snyder cut the slow mo and things like that. And that was a lot of fun. But I really think the movie lost points for me this time because of the comic booky moments.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because this movie, you know, Snyder goes on to say this is based on a graphic novel. This is not meant to be a work of historical fiction. You know, it's meant to be. I mean, like to add on to that point, more than just that the people are gross, and we have to have the trope that whenever we're in a fantasy film, we have to have elephants the size of warehouses for some reason. But like even the fighting style, like the very first time they fight, they're using the phalanx, which what they would have done. But then the rest of the movie, they don't do it again because it's not pretty, it's not entertaining, and like they would have done that every time, like forever. But it's not. We would have been bored with it. We need to see them individually hack it and slash it in slow mo, and you can't do that when you're huddled together. So okay, that's fine. Andrew, you're still muted.
300 episodes.
Yeah.
Can't get this right. Okay. So
wait.
Everything
is your mic correct? Is it turned the right way?
I think so.
That was so weird when you leaned in. Hang in there. When you leaned in, the green screen effect kicked off, and it's like your microphone just appears. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And now it's gone.
It's actually
there it goes. Yeah,
it's actually part of this guy's leg.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's his armor.
Yeah. It's ironic. Well, not really ironic. I guess it's appropriate.
Don't you think?
Sam just
A little bit ironic. Don't you think?
What Sam just said, because my 5-word reviews have. Well, let me change this a little bit. You know my rule about a movie has to keep my attention for it to be a good movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think this movie has caused me to add another rule, so I now have 2 rules.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
And it will affect my top 3 when we get to that later. So, my new rule is that if you have to qualify a movie in order to understand it, I don't think that it's a good movie. Meaning, well, here's my 5-word reviews. I have 2 of them. Based on a graphic novel, and it is not historically accurate. Now, if I am making a movie, should I have to say those words in order for you to understand it and enjoy it? Or should the movie be made well enough that you get those things without that?
Okay. So let's say 5-10 years down the road, someone decides to make a movie about this year. They do nothing but show footage of this year and tweets. You're going to have to say, this is real life, because no one's going to believe this shit. Like, that's just not going to happen. So I feel like you have to do it for the real things, but maybe not fake movies like this. You know? I don't know.
What about something like Tarantino's
Inglourious Basterds?
Inglourious Basterds,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's historical movie, but a complete fiction.
The thing about that movie is, I personally, I mean, I know we're not comparing these two, but that movie is far better, and no one has to tell me that it's a farce and a spoof. I can tell by the way that it's done.
Okay.
Well,
you know, in watching it, I know that it's so ridiculous that none of that would have ever really happened. You know.
But I mean, the movie doesn't start that way, right? The movie, again, and I didn't know that going into the theater. I saw Inglourious Basterds in the theater, and I did not know it was going to be that until I heard Brad Pitt talk. And even then, I just thought, okay, he's just a dude with a weird accent. Because the Inglourious Basterds, that story is real. That's a real story, and it really happened. And then when they start shooting Hitler in a theater, and I thought, that's not real. That didn't happen. I'm so confused. And so that actually hurt the movie, in my opinion, because I thought I was getting some realness. Because, and again, I'm not comparing this movie to that movie. That is a way better film. I have no argument there. But to my point, from the second that this movie starts, you have to know that this is a comic book movie, that this is a graphic novel, right? Like, you have to know that. This is the same guy that just did Sin City. There's nothing about Sin City that would make you think this is an actual film noir about like real things, right? Like,
well, here's the question though: was there a King Leonidas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there a Xerxes?
Yes.
Did Xerxes take Persians into Europe?
Yes.
Did Leonidas try to stop him?
Yes.
Did they fight at the Hot Gates?
Yes.
Did they win?
No.
Okay. So that's pretty much the movie we just saw, right?
Oh, okay.
So to me, I'm thinking to myself, somebody certainly could have done a graphic novel on this. Absolutely. It's a great story. But they didn't need to include crazy things like giant elephants and weird hunchback craziness and guys with executioner arms that look like, I don't know, chicken legs. It just didn't. Without that stuff, this could have been a decent movie.
I can't believe
still
I'm having
been amazing.
I can't believe I'm having this. This is happening right now. We saw this in the movie
Wait,
theater
hold on,
together.
Before you get into this,
Yeah,
the fact that you're saying I can't believe this is happening. You have been here for 300 episodes with Sam.
Right, but usually Sam argues with me for no point. He's making us a line in the sand. This is a movie that we saw and we all thought at the time was the greatest movie we had ever seen. We all literally
I don't know
went.
if I've grown up since then. I don't know what's happened to me.
We all went back to his house and made
enjoy any time one of these creatures was on the screen. I rolled my eyes and thought it was stupid.
Are you specious?
Yeah.
I'm just here to mess up the game, folks. There's no win or lose for me. I'm gonna fumble the ball on the one every time. Let's do this.
Not just fumble the ball. You're gonna pull Deshaun Watson and throw not Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Jackson and throw it behind you at the one.
There you go.
Yeah, there's an Eagles reference for you.
That still hurts.
But I don't know if I'm way off base. But I just, as I was watching, I thought, I am qualifying it in my mind. I am giving merit to it in my mind because it's a graphic novel, because I know that it's not historically accurate. And I don't know, maybe I'm way overthinking it and not just enjoying the movie for what it is. But there are also things that I didn't enjoy. Like Sam said, I didn't really notice the first time I saw this many years ago, the quality of the makeup that was used, especially for the Hunchback. I mean, it was almost
real bad. It was real bad.
It almost looked like the guy from the Goonies.
Sloth.
Having a mental part. But it was bad.
Yeah.
And
the wolf looked bad too.
Yeah, 2006, we could do better than that, I think.
Let me pose this question. Is it also because we know Zack Snyder and we hate him? That this
I don't
this
hate
thing?
him.
It's not
I
that
want
I
my
hate
money
him.
back. Justice League.
Well, Justice League is actually not the bad one. Batman versus Superman's the issue, and I know Andrew died on that hill a long time ago. But and that actually, to your point specifically, Andrew, if you have to quantify it, if they're now people are now having to champion for a Zack Snyder cut of the film for HBO, it's like, how much are we going to beat this dead horse? But apparently a lot.
So, well, we're getting way ahead because that's where I was going with my top three.
Oh.
I'll talk about it later.
No, that's fine.
I'll
That's
save
fine.
it. I don't want to get into it right now.
No, that's fine. Again,
It's too close to the chest.
All right. Well, let's.
I'll talk about it later.
Corny, do you have a top, not top, a 5-word review? I should have warned.
Zack Snyder still hates women.
Oh.
Ouch. Okay.
I'm gonna say it. I feel like he made. That's pretty much the only one that really bothered me throughout the movie. There's tons of other stuff, but I can get over that. But making the Queen seem weak, and I always kind of feel like Zack Snyder doesn't help his women folk out nearly as much as he should in a movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hating on Zack Snyder as of late, which is a good game for me. Besides that one, painting on the abs are cool. I mean, if I could do that, I would make my life a lot easier. Pizza's good. I want to keep eating that, so spray on the abs, and there we go. No, I mean, I don't know. I guess because I didn't really think about it, but I don't know. There might be a thing that I have to just go and explore the whole Zack Snyder thing. I feel like there's moments where things should be better for the female protagonist, and then whenever it's an option, and then somehow he tries to find a way to ruin it. That's just an opinion, a bad opinion at that. But I've seen a couple of movies where I've been like, I wonder if this is part of his work or if it's just bad writing from other people. I don't know. That particularly bothered me. I don't know if it's. I'm not.
It does feel like there's some bad writing in parts of Snyder movies. I will say that much.
Yeah, but outside of that, I don't know. I might have to come back with an actual good 5, but that was the only one where I thought I would say that. And maybe it's just this movie, and I don't know. Maybe I am dying upon the hill of I feel like the Queen should have been more important in this story, and she wasn't. And then, though she does get her last hurrah, or not last hurrah, but her savior moment. So I thought that was pretty cool. But
yeah, she gets her comeuppance or whatever.
I know it's kind of a weird.
But it was only by happen chance that the coins were in his pocket at the time.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean that was super
what would have
convenient.
happened if he didn't have the money on him?
And now she's just a murderer.
Now she just murdered somebody in the Senate or whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
To the pit.
So it's like, whoops.
Yeah, so I literally Googled 300 graphic novel because I've never seen it. And like the third image that comes up is the Hunchback dude, and he looks gnarly. I mean,
yeah,
like what they drew here, what they made in the movie is what Frank Miller drew. So,
oh yeah,
I it's so weird. I have never at any point in this movie in the half dozen times I've watched it thought I wish they hadn't stylized it. Like I like the fact that you see the blood coming off in slow-mo and that it's all weird and dark, and the whole movie was filmed in a warehouse in Canada somewhere. Like I don't know, I like this movie.
I'm not disputing that fact.
Yeah, I had never had issues with it not being historically accurate. Like the movies that I have issues with that try to be historically accurate, that paint themselves at, like Mel Gibson's The Patriot. There's nothing historically accurate about that movie at all, and I get annoyed by it because people are like, "Oh, it's such a..." Like, no, it's not. There's nothing right in it. They even tried to make the character seem very poignant to today's topic, but they even made him go, when the British come in or whatever, and he's like, "You slaves are free now," and they're like, "We're freedmen that work this land." No, that character, that man, that in real life he had slaves. I mean, we don't have to paint Mel Gibson. It's fine. Like it was the thing that happened, but they had to, essentially whitewash the character for the movie. So
yeah. But to my point, though, The Patriot, I enjoy watching, even though I know it's not historically accurate. But no one has had to come up to me and say, before you watch this, just know that it's not historically accurate.
That is fair.
Yeah, but
No one's ever had to say that to me.
But people that I know watched that movie and thought that it was. No one that I know,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
didn't pay
think
attention
people.
in history class.
Well, but I mean, how many people know about the southern half of the American Revolutionary War? Most people don't. Most people only know about, well, there was something in Massachusetts and there was a Tea Party, and then, you know what I'm saying, that George Washington was a guy. Like, most people don't know all that other stuff. So, in fact, when I watched that movie when it came out in high school, I thought, this doesn't seem right. And I had to go do research because I cared to. So I guess my point to counter your point is that, like Braveheart, like we all watched Braveheart and thought, oh man, what a great movie. And then you do 5 minutes research and go, oh, there's actually nothing historically accurate about this movie except that there was a dude named William Wallace. So.
You know, I think unless I hear the word documentary, I just assume the movie's fake.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, unless you see based on true events.
Yeah.
But even then, you use the word based on, there's going to be liberties, right? There's going to be some of that stuff.
Well, they're always going to Hollywood it up. They're always going to church it up.
Yeah. And so I'm going to do my 5-word real quick. And then I want to go back to Corny's point about him hating women in this. Okay. All right.
By the way, Sean, please tell Sarah thank you for watching for us.
Yeah, my wife sat and watched this with me.
I think there's two. No. Thank you. She's watching us right now.
Oh, she's watching the show
on Facebook. Yeah, she's one. She's one of 2 people watching. I think Mr. Mr. Penley is watching as well.
Oh,
so.
Wait,
cool.
am I not the other one?
So it's saying 2 on my screen right now.
Yeah, I only have 2 on mine.
We've fixed that right now.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you meant the fact that my wife watched the movie with me. She did watch this movie with me.
Kimberly watched it with me too. And to tell you the honest truth, when those crazy creatures were on the screen, I did kind of cringe a little bit because she thought it looked stupid, and she kind of giggled a little bit at how they looked.
Yeah.
So that kind of, again, just showed that it just didn't fit.
I mean, you're not wrong
I didn't like
about
the directorial choice.
You're not wrong about Mr. Knife Guy. Like, how does he wipe his butt or feed himself? Like, that was, again, whatever. The only part that I actually warned my wife about for
Don't body shame him, Sean.
the view of the movie was when he went to go see the imams or whatever the heck they're called. That's not the right word. The
E-Force.
Thank you. And I'm like, this is going to be kind of gross. And so you see them and they're all kind of leprous or whatever. And she says, is that the gross part? And I said, no. And then you get to the young girl, the naked young girl. And she said, is this the part? I said, no. And then when he licks her on the face and she's like, oh, that's the part. I'm like, yeah, that's the one part of this movie that makes me cringe is when he licked her with that. Sorry to jump in,
but that's also the other part of it. It's like, look, there's no reason for that. None. This movie goes along completely fine without that scene. There's nothing behind that scene that helps.
We really just have to show how awful these men are. We really have to beat you in the face that these are terrible people. And
well, have them punch a cat in the face repeatedly. Like that'll do it.
And here's the thing: if they would, what they're doing is what Snyder does best, and he's copying the comic book. Right, when he did Watchmen, he did a fairly accurate representation of what the comic book was.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did this, he had the comic book basically as a storyboard in front of him, so he could kind of see where he was going to do his shots and direction and things like that. There are many pictures that I've seen from the comic book that correspond exactly to the pictures you see on the screen in this film. So if he would have had the directorial know-how and decision-making to possibly not use some of those elements from the comic book, this movie could have been top-notch, amazing, out of this world.
You say that 14 years later. I would bet that if he had done something different, the fans of the graphic novel would have whined and bitched just like the fans of the Watchmen graphic novel that don't like that movie because of how different or how not great or how the tone is wrong or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it wouldn't be changing. It would be simply not using some of those elements.
it's like saying, all right, we're going to make a Superman movie, but we're going to not use the fact that he's an alien.
I'm
You know what I'm saying?
gonna
Like-
abstain from anything about that Superman movie and Zack Snyder, because f that man and Superman. Everything about that movie was shite.
Give me time. It's coming.
No, not. I mean,
In
not,
terms of Superman, if we're talking about comics and whatnot, if you do this for 300, why not take decades of source material for Superman and actually use that source material? Superman does not kill people basically he doesn't kill people. No, sorry. Continue on 300. Forget Zack Snyder.
all I'll say about Man of Steel is that Hans Zimmer did the score, and it's actually really great. So
It's a good score.
It's not totally devoid of goodness. I don't think I've done my 5-word review yet.
No, sorry. I ruined that. I apologize.
No, it's not your fault. This is the way a show goes, man. We ramble on.
You never know what's going to happen.
I mean, I honestly had zero inclination. I honestly thought that this was going to be just us going, this part was great and this part was good and this looked great. Like it was just us going to be kind of extolling the virtues of this movie. I had no idea I was going to have to come on and defend it. Which I find myself, it's not like this is my favorite movie. It's probably my favorite Zack Snyder movie, though.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome. Not like you took me to the theater and watched it, whatever. Sam did that. Sam and...
Oh, no, I mean, you're welcome that I've followed your plot for us to just say that we like it and move on.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I mean, Sam, when we watched this movie, we all went back and made World of Warcraft characters. We were all trying to be King Leonidas, and that had been taken long ago. And we were all trying to come up with characters from the movie to name our characters.
Yeah,
after,
we were
right?
all gung ho. Maybe it's got to be some sort of age thing. Where
Well, yeah,
at this
I mean-
point, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting those abs. There's no way I'm moving around like that anymore. So screw it. This sucks.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Well done, Andrew. That was fantastic.
That is a special treat for our Facebook viewers.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
If
what
you
you get when you watch live.
if you listen just to the podcast, you should go find this video and rewatch it and watch it.
my
I
gosh.
still will.
What's happening is actually pretty incredible.
Love
So
it.
here's my 5-word review: bloody, violent, yelling, topless men.
Okay.
Which I like to call corny Saturday night.
You know what? You beat me to the punch. I was actually going to say Sam, but that works too.
Yeah.
You
By the
beat-
way, if you guys want a little extra fun while we're doing this podcast, flip back to the Facebook page about 5 seconds after something has happened, and you get to see your reaction. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. I'm afraid to do that. I might crash the thing.
Yep. Internet. Yep.
Yeah. No. So I didn't take much
Okay.
notes on this movie because there's not much to take notes on. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the plot is pretty. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm now kind of regretting that we didn't do the second 300 movie because this is considered the good one, and I'm kind of interested to see how this conversation would have gone on that one because
Well, the other one's got Eva Green, so that's all that matters.
yeah, you see her naked, which I mean, she kind of always gets naked in her movies, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, back to Corny's point about Lena Headey. Am I saying
Headley.
it? Headley.
Cersei.
Dunham.
Yeah.
Headley Lamar. Heady, yeah.
Nice.
Lena Dunham.
Yeah. She
I approve.
you're not wrong about her character kind of being I guess our problem is that we have seen Game of Thrones, and we've seen Dread.
Yep.
And so in those movies, she is a very powerful woman. And in this movie, she starts off projecting. You know, she has that great line that was a spoken word. This was an actual line from history where it said, only Spartan women can give birth to Spartan men or warriors or something like that. Like, she's making fun of that dude, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's all sneaky. And then she kind of gives her, it's a rape, but there's no way to say this without coming off as super insensitive, but she let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she at some point she should have had a contract written up before that, so that he would follow up on his end of the deal.
Oh yeah,
which he didn't.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, contract.
Because the only reason she probably didn't kill him right then and there is because she thought she was getting some sort of how could I say this? Some sort of.
You mean like a quid pro quo? It's been
a
few months since we've heard that phrase.
We don't do that here.
So, I don't know. But I see your point where it almost was like a storyline that didn't really need to happen. But then again, you don't get the enemies at the very end, or the armies at the very end, which is historically inaccurate, as far as I know, in terms of going off to glory and beating the Persians. So, I don't know. I like that kind of political intrigue juxtaposed to the crazy action that's happening at the Hot Gates. I think we needed that to kind of give us a tonal shift.
You need a break, kind of.
Yeah.
We needed a Jack Ryan kind of moment, right? Some action's going on, and you got him doing all kinds of politics in the background, trying to figure some stuff out.
Sorry, I was like, Chris Pine is gonna punch somebody. I didn't know what you're talking about, but okay.
You mean Chris Fine?
Yeah, or John.
And ultimately, the only again, you said she stabbed him. He dropped his coins. If he didn't have his coins, then she'd just be charged with murder. So it seemed really weird. It just seemed like a weird storyline. A very short-ended storyline at the very end.
Well,
should there have been more? Should there have been some more finagling trying to get the Senate to help them out?
Well, one, it's not in the comic. That whole subplot's not in the comic at all. And two, my biggest issue with it is that dude, he basically threatens her, right? He's like, oh, you should watch your boy. Something can happen to him or his mother. It's like, wait, did you just threaten the queen? Like, he'd be dead, is what maybe I'm thinking too much of like Dark Ages, England, where if you even look at the queen wrong, you get, stabbed in the face. So
by the queen.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It kind of feels like in this society, it feels like everyone helps each other, and it's all about honor and glory. This society feels like if there is one place where your kid can just run around, this place is safe to do that because it's the king's son. I don't know. That whole part was just weird and annoying, but whatever. He Dominic West is the actor's name, and he's in other stuff, but he played it. He played his part well. Those stuff I've not watched. He's in that new Tomb Raider movie, which I haven't seen. So anyway, he's in Finding
Is he a
Dory.
Tomb or a Raider?
Yeah, he's an Oakland Raider.
Okay.
That hits people with tombs. I don't know. That's a bad joke. Sorry for that. I have often wondered about the big hole in the middle of the city. Is that just a death hole, or is that like water supply, or
the OSHA would not approve of that hole.
Yeah.
Maybe their thinking was, if there are no guardrails, people will be more careful.
Yeah.
But seriously, who digs out the hole, right? You dig out the hole, and then it slowly fills up with people and trash and balls that kids, accidentally kick down it.
Yeah.
And, the occasional dog that's running too fast and can't stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Why?
But I mean, like
So-
that pit must stink to hell. I mean,
Right? I mean, do they clean it out? I mean, it's obviously very deep because the camera followed that one guy falling down for quite some time.
yeah.
And the
So-
camera got scared and stopped, so you know it's pretty deep.
Yeah, they pulled him back out.
So no, it's just it's that must be out of the comic as well. So
I don't know. Other tropes I wrote: intro by narration or narration by intro by narration. That's it.
that man's voice does not fit his body.
I wanted some receipts.
great.
That I agree
Right?
with-
If there are 2 times that happens in this movie. You've got the narrator. I don't even know his name. and then
Faramir from
Xerxes'
Lord of the
voice.
Rings.
Well, but Xerxes' voice also just doesn't quite fit right.
Well,
But I understand Xerxes because you're supposed to be some sort of god king.
yeah.
But
No, he's
the narrator
he's
just
this chubby Jewish guy.
Xerxes. But
I forgot
I'm
that
sorry,
was
wait.
there.
This is jerk cheese.
jerk cheese.
Instead of Xerxes. Nice.
way to exert some effort there.
But he sounds like an old, 60, 70-year-old smoker, as in the narrator. It's just hard for me to see those. It's hard to listen to it after knowing what he looks like.
Interesting. Yeah, he sounds just like he does in Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing a little bit different kind of a voice, but yeah, as soon as he started, like he has a pretty recognizable voice to me. As soon as he started talking, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy from Lord of the Rings. That's Faramir. And he's in some other stuff. Did he do that terrible Wall movie?
Wall movie.
No, he
He
didn't.
was
Okay.
in Love Actually.
Wow.
Wait, what?
He's he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see. Dead Men Tell No Tales. He's in Iron. Oh my gosh, he's in Iron Fist. He's the dad. How did I miss that?
Wait, what?
Really?
I still haven't seen that one.
He's
that one yet.
he's Harold Meacham. No spoilers. He's Harold Meacham. He's the dad. I totally missed that. I've seen that one too. That's so weird. He's in 300.
Well, I'll be damned.
He's in the second 300 movie also. So anyway, he's a good dude. I like him. I think he's an interesting guy. But the Xerxes dude, they literally just had that actor, right, just deliver his lines, and then they use a voice modulator to drop it an octave.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds weird.
So they had that back then? That's some interesting technology.
Eh,
No wonder the Persians were rolling over everybody else.
Yeah.
They were just all this audio technology.
yeah, they had
was
this
amazing.
auto tune. Yeah, it was really
They
weird.
had Aaron Lafreniere. That's what they had.
Yeah, they.
Such a deep voice.
The weird part is like having to use like all their slaves to generate electricity to produce enough electricity to use the computer.
Exactly.
Was it like a giant
Right?
hamster wheel, and they were just taking turns running, or how?
They had
that-
enough people, so they just took turns and yeah.
Okay,
We
I
know
will-
it wasn't wind turbine energy because that'll kill them, from the radiation, cancer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I will say back to your point about being just kind of crazy. I never really cared about the weird shaped people or whatever, but the idea that Xerxes has this golden sled that's the size of my house just for one chair, and there's like 300 people carrying it, and then no one had this foresight to build stairs, and so you have to have slaves come in and lock arms.
They have voice modulators, but no stairs.
Yeah, like where's the retractable
I
stairs?
have built the greatest seat of all time. Where's the stairs? Oh.
I mean, like that thing
It's
seems like
actually-
so big
Actually,
it
a
would.
squatty potty.
It just feels like it would have sank the boat that it was on.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It was the conductivity of gold. That was a good job, Penley. That's a big word,
There we go. Yeah.
and it was hard for me to say. Anyway, yes. So
I kept thinking the guy's ankles are going to break eventually coming down those stairs. You know, me and feet and ankles, we've got a very tender relationship.
Yeah.
So every time I see that, I think he's going to twist that somehow.
I'm thinking about the poor guy in the middle, right? Like it's in the dead middle, and like he trips and then falls, and then like it's a domino effect, and then like the whole back just falls and it just scraping the ground.
Like the clarinets and marching band.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
One goes down and the whole line follows.
Yeah, exactly.
And somehow Xerxes, falls off his own sled. Oh man, how embarrassing!
Oh no, I fell over. Please help me up. I would appreciate it.
Boy, I wish I had a voice modulator attached to this that I could drop an octave. That'd be cool as heck.
Hello, this is Sean
Fix it
from
in post.
Cheap Reviews.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
I guess I
Or
could.
save it for 400.
Episode 400. Yeah, by then I'll have saved up enough pennies that I can put a auto tune on this thing. I'm.
Oh, that would be great.
What?
You make an auto-tune song of a cast?
Oh, jeez. No one would want to listen to that.
That wouldn't add any work at all.
Yeah.
I would listen to that.
Not an hour, but yeah.
You don't know me. You don't know my struggles.
I mean,
I'll listen to it.
Well, okay. Or
I'll listen to the first 15 seconds and then say I heard it.
yeah, exactly. Hey, a download's a download, man. Are you
Sean
guys?
pulls on a cigarette. Download the download.
That's right. You guys ready for some clips?
Let's do some clips.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. Oh crap! Where did there go? Okay, couldn't find iTunes.
You have none.
There's some that I had to get right. Like I am contractually obligated to play.
This is Sparta!
I mean, I had to. Right.
Watching that, I think of COVID and how that guy probably got COVID if he was, in front of Leonidas yelling like that.
Spitting like that, yeah.
And yeah, right. If
You know what
Leonidas
that
had,
My face,
There's a lot of-
think
there's-
of every high school football game whose their mascot are the Spartans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that's played.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that. They do the
was
hype
it Michigan
video.
State, right? I'm sure Michigan State has that somewhere. And yeah.
Yeah, they probably do have like the hype video, and at the end you hear that.
This is Sparta!
Yeah. So
And all
then some
that
Rick
bodily
Tick fight song
fluids
goes after
being
that.
flown out of that mouth is it's drenching.
All right.
I don't know what to say after that. Okay, we're gonna move on to this. Here we go.
Spartans!
Oh my.
What is your profession?
They never answered that question.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, you screamed, you grunted. What do you do?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's funny. My wife said the same thing. Hold on. There's 3 more seconds of the clip.
More soldiers than you did.
There you go. It's really quiet, but yeah, he
There
says
you
I
go.
brought more stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife said the same thing. She's like, he didn't answer the question. I was like, is that yelling? Is that Spartan for warrior or soldier? Something?
Haru must be Greek for something.
Yeah.
I'm guessing warrior. Yeah.
Haru.
Aru is on fire. Sorry, keep going.
Shade. Here we go.
What the hell are you laughing at?
You had to say it. What? Fight in the shade?
For some reason, there's a Scotsman here or something. Oh, did I lose you guys? Are you?
No, we're just not responding to you anymore.
No, that's fine. It's like all I was hearing was a weird noise, and I look up, and all 3 of you are like looking down at your phones. I'm like, good God, even
Oh, I was looking at my phone.
Even the cast has gotten so bored with this movie. They've checked out. This is the bad
Sorry,
part about
my
having a
lady
camera
is-
on everybody. I can see what's happening.
Sorry, my lady's on the other side of the country right now, and so I thought I got a text from her. I apologize.
Hey, man, whatever. Sam's playing Hearthstone, and I don't know what Andrew's doing.
I was picking hair off my microphone.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny because your microphone was still invisible, so it just all I see is. Yeah, it's still invisible. That's so weird.
Wow.
Look at that. You're talking into a golden microphone, the golden EIB microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Only Rush Limbaugh
All right.
listeners will know
What
what
other
that
clips
is.
you got?
Oh, here we go.
Relax, old friend. If they assassinate me, all of Sparta goes to walks. Pray. They're
Sean
not
Connery?
stupid. Pray. We're that lucky.
We're prayers that we're a lot lucky. Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. This one also made me laugh.
Is Gerald Butler from Scotland?
Gerald?
Yeah.
Oh,
What is he, the Witcher?
He goes by Jerry.
Jerry. Oh, Jerry
Jerry.
Butler.
Gerald.
He is from Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was actually finally able to use his real accent in a movie to a certain extent.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's it's a little. It kind of wavers all over the place, but yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not Greek.
Yeah, it's very much not Greek.
Well, it's all Greek to me, so.
There you go. Nice.
Consider the fate of your women. Clearly, you don't know our women. I might as well have marched them up here, judging by what I've seen.
Burn.
Oh, get some.
Burn.
Get wrecked.
Last little bit from that same conversation.
The idea of kneeling, you see, slaughtering all those men of yours has it's left a nasty crack in my leg. So kneeling will be hard for me.
That I will say that was probably the coldest line I think I remember in a movie in such a long time.
Yeah.
And all I really needed him to do after that was go.
I mean, like
after that.
Yeah, if it were like a Facebook video, he would freeze, and then the little glasses would come down, sunglasses would come down and cover him. Yeah. I only captured this one because I just wanted to hear this guy talk one last time.
Embrace me as her king and as her god.
There you go. So I just like, I don't know.
You're scrawny.
His voice is weird, but I like it. It's oddly, it's weird for me. It's oddly satisfying to me. I don't know what it is, but it is. It's like if the chipmunks. I mean, it's like opposite of chipmunks, right? Like chipmunks is like ear piercing and painful, and like this is.
Embrace me as her king and as her god.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
Like when Andrew gets really close to the mic and drops his voice and really talks close to the mic. You know, it's like, what is it, ASMR or something, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like that.
That's where they like rub the microphone.
There you go.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they just whisper.
Slower.
Yeah, they whisper and then they chew the food. You know, the crunch of the pickles or cucumbers.
Hey, do we need to like flag this video now?
So creepy. It's just so creepy. But that's, you know, it's not just the tone of the voice, Opie. I believe it is the physical aspect of it. I believe in your mind you're seeing this guy talk to the microphone like he's making love to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely gonna flag this one.
Oh, here we go.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
Y'all do need Jesus. Cover your ears, babies. Oh my gosh, I love that bit.
All right.
Some trivia. I'm gonna try to cook through this a little bit because we're running a little long here.
That's what she said.
In the line, "Come back with your shield or on it," was a common phrase by Spartan women to their sons and husbands. Soldiers would drop their heavy shields when they ran, and their wives would rather they come home dead than a coward. Dead soldiers were carried home on their shields.
Did they have to like curl up, right, in like a fetal position to fit on those shields?
Yeah, I guess. I was just, did you just like drape over? You know?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, rigor mortis eventually sets in. So I guess you're gonna have to kind of shape the body in a circular like form.
Or it just seems weird that, like, I mean, carrying a body home is hard enough. Now you got to carry it with this 45-pound shield. You know, it just
it's tied to a couple of horses, and eventually some of it will make it home.
Sure. When the Persians demand that the Spartans surrender their weapons, he replies, "Come and get them," which I think Liv Tyler says the same thing in Lord of the Rings. According to ancient historian Herodotus, Leonidas actually said that. It was also adopted as the motto of the Greek army's first corps. I kind of like that.
What, come and get them?
Yeah. Like if your army's slogan says, like the idea is that if you want what we have, you have to come and get it. I think that's kind of cool. I just like it whenever...
Isn't it like McDonald's, too? Come and get it?
That probably could be their next
like
slogan.
Walmart, need cheap crap, come and get it.
Come and get it, yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, we're killing you.
Yeah. Come and get it. Do you want our cheeseburgers? Come and get it. I should have captured.
Come and get them.
I should have captured that part out. That
We shall eat these cheeseburgers in the shade.
Yeah, we'll eat them in the shade. Yeah.
Tonight we dine with fries.
So I do like the line in the movie where he says, "Tonight we dine in hell." So I sent that message to Corny. I'm not going to say the full. I'm not going to say the full message, Corny. But I said to Corny just a preemptive, "Hey, tonight we dine in hell," and his response was humorous in that it made reference to someone's kitchen not being big enough, and of course I laughed and we had a good time with that. But anyway, I guess the joke's not fully appreciative if you don't know what I'm talking about, and so I shouldn't have even mentioned it. So I apologize.
Hold on, gentlemen, I've got you. Keep going, Sean.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that was weird. I'm not going to read all that because I don't care. It was interesting, but not now. According to an interview with IGN, director Zack Snyder said that the fighting styles and formations, particularly the Spartans' phalanx, was purposely changed, making them historically inaccurate so they'd look cool and work better for the movie purposes. So, yeah, I mentioned that a little bit earlier, but yeah.
Now that I know that, I like it better.
Ooh.
Not really.
It's so loud.
But again, Corny, that everyone can see that, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's on the video now. Your message pops up over your face. What you just said.
There we go.
I mean, it's everyone saw that.
Because in mine it doesn't pop up, but only in a different area. So that's what I said. I mean,
it'll be a nice Easter egg for our Facebook viewers.
Yeah. The word
I win tonight.
Much for keeping that between us.
Yeah, that's what it is. The word Sparta is and its derivatives are used a total of 72 times. This means that the word Sparta is used at 0.62 times per minute.
Wow.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah, well, it felt that way.
Yeah, it did. I mean, they do say it a lot.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
This is going to be very different than any other top 3 we've ever done. So we've now done 300 episodes. Andrew has done 200 of them with us. And we decided that we're going to take a look back. And you know what? Now that I know that we're doing like this look back, I should have like, what's it called? The Ken Burns music pulled up, Yeah.
In memorandum type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
Something like that. That would have been really funny to have, just ready to go. But instead, I suck. Ken Burns music. Here we go. This is great for both. Oh, my computer is so slow because
we're gonna get kicked off of.
Yeah, the Facebook might crash. So as you guys are queuing up your lists, hopefully you have your whatever ready. Is this the one? I don't know what it's called. No, that's not it. All right, whatever. The joke is past. Andrew, you lead us off. I did say, shaking my head. Thanks, Mike. I did. Nice. I did explain what we're doing, right? We're looking at movies that we've done in the past, and how we would rank them, either better or lower.
Okay.
Right? That's what we agreed on, right?
So-
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes. Thanks, Mike. Yes. Yakety sax. That's definitely should be the theme of our podcast.
That's pretty accurate. Okay. So, as I was talking earlier about going and having to defend your movie because of a certain aspect that's not in the movie, I did that in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And thus, I'm going to lower my score.
Okay.
Because the reason that I liked the movie is because I was relating it to the Frank Miller comic, and I kept justifying it because of that, and not because of what the movie was. So, I'm going to lower my score.
So right now, the Batman versus Superman as our score was a 6.69. 6.69. So you would lower that. So right now it's parked in between the Christmas Chronicles and Spy Game. So you would go lower.
Yeah, I would go lower.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first one.
I don't.
It hurts, but it's true.
Unfortunately, the way
Based
the
off
list.
of my new rule. It's true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the way that my list works, I don't have a way to have the numbers, so I don't know what the rank is. Just because every time I would add in a new movie, I would have to manually edit the list down. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I've got two more that are moving up.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with my second one here that I would like to see up higher on the list. I think it deserves to be higher, and that is The Rock.
Okay.
I feel like it's pretty far. It's not too far down on our list, but it's down there.
Yeah, 7.765.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why we gave it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was because of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And then number one, a movie that I think, and it is in my personal top 10, is Pulp Fiction. I think it needs to be a lot higher than it was.
That's mostly because of me. Yeah. Pulp Fiction
did not.
I did not like it at all. I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was great. 7.783. 7.873. Sorry. So, yeah, there you go.
So there we are.
All right, cool. Corny, I'll let you go.
Okay, cool. Since I can't vote completely Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I'll add two more. I do think that one should be higher because I still am wholeheartedly behind the idea that I think that is the perfect movie. In terms of how weird it is and the fact that it is a movie.
It's ranked 9th on our list. So
what?
It's ranked 9th on our list. So are you bumping Wolf of Wall Street or The Matrix or Jurassic Park?
I will watch that movie continuously if I have to. It's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So that's one I would like higher if possible. The second one would be Kung Fury. As crazy as it was, and as short as it was, it really was an entertaining movie. Since I think I watched that movie 3 or 4 times total, because it was so short, but it made me laugh the entire time. I've shown it to other people, and they also agreed this is a hilarious movie. So I feel like that one should be a little higher in terms of quality.
It's about
and the last one,
upper 30s, like 30. Well, lower 30s, like 30, 31, 32, something like that.
And the last movie.
Hang in there just a second, Corny. Let's just talk about this for a second. Kung Fury is just a little bit under Good Will Hunting.
I know.
Like,
Nice.
And also, just to put that in perspective, Good Will Hunting is under American Assassin and The Mummy.
I see. That
That's why
seems all kinds of wrong.
so hard. It's so hard to rank.
It really
movies
is.
of different genres. It's just it's insane.
It is, and also over 6 years. I mean, even our tastes have changed in 6 years. I mean, we probably ranked The Mummy at 8.2 because it's just dumb and fun. But Good Will Hunting is an objectively better film. Go ahead, Corny, with your last one.
Oh no, I completely understand. And my last one, this seems like a fairly reasonable one, but Beverly Hills Cop, the first one.
Yeah, our first
that was
episode.
one of our very first movies.
It was the first episode.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be nice to find those lost episodes.
Beverly Hills Cop, 6.375. It's kind of down there.
Yeah, that one's low.
Yeah, that's probably about halfway.
But then again, do we need to see it to remember it being a 6 point something? I don't know.
Shoot.
I mean, it was just an 80s movie, and it wasn't like necessarily that. But for me, I guess if I am giving my rankings, I will never not put Scott Pilgrim versus the World first, unless something weird happens. But I don't know. For some reason, Beverly Hills Cop is actually honorable mention while we're doing that. The Replacements, the Keanu Reeves Replacements. I love that movie.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, it is the perfect underdog movie, I think, in my opinion. And
7.1.
I actually watched that maybe a couple weeks ago. It was late one night, and I was like, I need to feel better about myself. So then I watched that movie.
It's only 4 above Justice League.
Wow.
The spots of these movies are too damn low.
We got a lot of it's funny, we have a lot of just in my little what I can see from my screen here. We have Amazing Spider-Man 2, Doctor Strange, and Justice League all within about 10 spots of each other. It's interesting. Kind of in the middle. All right, Sam, what you got?
All right, for mine, I've got and this is going to be interesting, right? So I've got Tremors at 7.3. And if there's any movie that I can sit and watch and laugh and still have fun with, it's that stupid Kevin Bacon movie.
Yeah.
I for some reason, it's not the perfect movie, but Tremors and all its glory should be ranked higher than 7.13. I've got
7.3.
John Carter at 5.0, which I enjoy that movie. It's got flaws certainly, but at a 5, I think it's a little low there for what they were trying to do with that. I think the problem with John Carter is that people see Star Wars and see all the stuff they stole from the John Carter stories that were initially in that. And then, of course, and this is all because of Sean, Interstellar at 7.9.
Should be
the
way
story
lower.
of a father and his daughter
Should be way
and their
lower.
relationship and the music and the Nolan-esque stuff in that movie is perfect. It's perfect. And it should be higher than where it is.
It's not a perfect film. The score is great, but it's not a perfect film. 7.9, I think, is actually good for that. Okay, so I'm going through and I'm looking through the list. And again, I'm the one that manages the list here, and so and this was a really good idea, Sam. So my first one is a little weird because they're actually most of mine are actually going to. Well, most I don't know, whatever. My number one I'm going to say is Avengers Endgame. Right now is our top film. I know I'm all over the map.
Okay.
Avengers Endgame is our top one at 9.46. I would actually lower that. Would actually probably flip it with Infinity War. I have watched both of those movies recently, and Infinity War is a better film. I just hate to say it. I just say it.
I agree.
Infinity War is a better movie. The other
We're
one...
probably just incredibly excited about it. We probably reviewed it pretty close to watching it, and it just, that's what happens.
Yeah, and again, that ending battle scene is amazing for the spectacle that it is. But then you go back and rewatch it, and it's like, Okay, it's got some things. I did see a fun kind of wayside note, but I did see kind of a fun theory.
Yeah, he disappeared for a second.
Oh, I did? I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Is he gone again?
Am I still gone?
Nope, now you're back.
Weird. The stream is still good. Anyway, one of the theories is, so when Thanos comes to Earth at the end of Infinity War, and, you know, he throws the Hulk into the side of the mountain and makes him part of the mountain, you know, and he crushes the Iron War Machine, and like he busts up all the guys, right? And, makes, you know, messes up everybody. And the theory is that he actually, when he punches Captain America, he actually kills him. The punch kills him, and that when he does his little time handy thing, it reverses all of that. That's why once they get to the dusting, Rhodey can walk around in his suit like normal, and so can Ruffalo. He's not part of that mountain wall anymore. I'd never even thought about that. So anyway, yes, sorry. So there's that. The other one, let's see. I think this one's more for Sam. I think Mission Impossible 3 should be a little bit higher.
Never.
Than 7.115. I think that's
the missile explosion and the physics don't work in that.
It's that one scene. It's just so funny. Like there's a whole idea and scope of a movie is the reason why I don't like Interstellar. But there's a 3-second scene from a trailer you saw is the reason why you hate a movie. It's like we're comparing apples to bowling balls here, Sam.
No, it's just sucks.
Can you do that again, Sean?
No, I don't think I can. And I don't know. I'm looking back through. I think a lot of ours are pretty good. I mean, do I think that some of the Star Wars movies might need to be a little lower? The Force Awakens is pretty high at around 15th, 16th or whatever. I mean, I think that's okay.
I stand by Rogue One, though.
Rogue One is great.
Rogue One is going to stand up to the test of time.
The thing is that
for sure.
Yeah, Rogue One is actually underneath The Force Awakens. I think they should be switched. I'm trying to think if I would put Rogue One higher than any of these other movies, though. I don't think so. So anyway, I don't really have anything else I'd really want to change, honestly.
Oh, I have one that I really.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to go all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
I want you to take Children of the Corn. I want you to put that in the box. You put that box in the ocean.
I mean, like legit. Like I'm wondering if, like, for Children of the Corn, how the fact that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 other movies above it.
Should not be.
And the only thing.
I hate all of you for voting anything for that. I will never forgive you. You are the worst.
The bottom of the list is pretty great. All right. That's it. That's all we're going to do for that. That was fun. It's time for this last thing so we can get out of here because no one is listening anymore.
No.
Wait, what did I just do? Oh, no. Oh, crap.
Now they're really not listening anymore.
You did hit record tonight, right?
Yeah.
We did. It's on Facebook Live. That's
That was weird. I clicked on iTunes and it showed my iTunes page on the feed. That was weird. Okay, here we go.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we're going to give this movie a score out of 10. And so I pull up my list and Andrew goes first.
Yeah. So I would have, the first time I saw this film, probably given it a decent score. Watching it again and seeing some of the flaws in the makeup and just, again, me thinking, why am I justifying the movie by saying, well, it's not based on reality, and well, it's graphic novel. I don't want to do that. I want to like a movie for the movie itself, without any additions. So, I'm giving this and maybe that logic is flawed, but I'm going to give this a 5. No. Yeah. 5.3.
Okay. Mr. Logan.
Oh, oh, this is gonna seem very, very weird. I did enjoy. I enjoyed the movie based on the nostalgia of watching it the first time. Still hate the fact that the Queen was not utilized better, especially if you got that kind of actress playing the part. But ultimately, I mean, like, it kept my attention for the most part. I didn't do very much while the movie was going. I'm gonna actually give it a little higher than I would like to, but because I don't completely hate it, I can't throw it in the gutter. So I'm gonna give it a 6.17.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get close to corny there. If I rated this thing the first 2 times I saw this movie, it would be 8+.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I loved it, and as you know, I have it on DVD for God's sake. So I don't buy many movies. Watching it now, years later, I didn't enjoy it as much. For the reasons I said before. So I'm going to give it a 6.38 out of 10.
Okay.
Time has not helped this movie in my head.
It's interesting. I would not have guessed that of the 3, you would have been the highest.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
It's still a fun movie to watch, but when you get taken out by those gnarly looking creatures, it didn't help. I don't know if I've grown up since then. Lord knows my wife says I haven't, but I've grown outward, maybe not up.
They killed a Heffalump.
Yeah. So, what you got, Oak?
I don't know. I had a good time with this. It's a spectacle. It's ridiculous. It's fun. I mean, to me, this is a park your brain at the door kind of a thing. And I have a. Is Sam next to you, Corny? In
mine, so Andrew is this direction and mine. So I'm assuming it's the same direction.
No. You're next to me. I'm poking you in the ear, and then there's Sam. I'm tickling his belly, and Andrew's over there in the corner.
Oh, it's right above me. So let me do this.
There you go. Thanks. Yeah, those are good. I wish Sam could do more, like every week, but jobs and things.
Or not being at the job. That's my problem now. I need to be at the job to do that.
You don't have access to that computer. I'm gonna give it a. I really wanted to make some kind of reference to 300, but I don't want to give it a 3. So how about a 6? How about a 6.300? And of course.
Whoa! Wait a second. We ranked it the same amount?
Yeah, basically.
We've been fighting this whole time.
I don't think it's
we ranked it the same. Okay.
It's not. Right. Again, it's not the greatest film ever. It's not a great film. I just have a good time with it because the stuff that bothers me about it doesn't. The stuff that bothers you about it doesn't bother me. I don't care about the.
But there's other stuff that bothers you. Maybe doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, some of the story stuff is a little not great. I mean, and I don't know. It's good. It's fine. It's not great. It's okay. I had a good time with it. I'm glad we watched it for the movie. Again, I'm a little interested in seeing what we would have done for the bad one. That might have been more. I don't know. That might have been just us going, man, this part was lame and this part was weird, and boy, those boats sure could move fast with just oars and things like that. So. Because there's a lot of that happening in that movie. At least it seems that way. Oh my gosh, this podcast won't end. All right.
That's what our listeners are saying, unfortunately.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where I'm supposed to end the show. Thank you. Jeez. This has been so much fun, guys, and I am.
Oh yeah!
So glad we were able to do it. Visit our website that Andrew has clearly found and is looking at different pictures of. That's cheapseatreviews.com. like us on Facebook, which most people that are listening live participated, facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. On Twitter @CheapSeatCast. Emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com, which I just realized I got an email today. People are leaving comments on our YouTube page, our YouTube videos, which is super cool that people are commenting.
We don't get any alerts or anything, do we?
I do, yeah. I get an email from it saying that someone liked it, which is cool. It's just there's better ways to interact with us, I feel like. But hey, that's cool too. Liam said, "Awesome video. Chase your dreams. Also, I want to be YouTube friends." Okay. Okay. Whatever that means.
Okay.
Sounds fine to me. So leave us a review on iTunes and, of course, YouTube, Google Play. And if you liked this, if this was fun for you as it was for us, please share the show with somebody. So anyway, on behalf of Corny, Andrew, and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.